Okay, we're on 4.2 day 2 notes. Last 2 days we've done standard form of quadratics and vertex form, and now we're doing intercept form. So intercept form is y equals a, and I got my parenthesis x minus p and x minus q. So my intercepts are actually at p comma 0 and q comma 0. And my line of symmetry, my axis of symmetry, that dotted line going straight up and down, is that x equals p plus q over 2. So my vertex also is p plus q over 2, and then whatever you plug in and get. So let's talk about how do we know if the graph opens up or down. A little review. If it's a positive a, it opens up. If it's a negative a, it opens down. Graphing this thing, so it's an x-intercept form, so my two x-intercepts are negative 3, 0. Sorry, they're the opposite. And 1, 0. Negative 3 and 1. Then my line of symmetry, my axis of symmetry, is that x equals, I do negative 3 plus 1 over 2, negative 2, so it would be negative 1. So it's here at negative 1, right in the middle of those two. And when I plug in negative 1, I get 2 times 2 is 4, times negative 2 gives me negative 8. So my vertex is at negative 1, negative 8. Negative 1, negative 8. Now I can make my graph. Same thing over this one. My x-intercepts are at 2, 0, and negative 4, 0. So at 2 and negative 4, which means my axis of symmetry is at x equals, these two add together, negative 2 divided by 2 gives me negative 1. Oh, same line. Like that. And my vertex, if I plug in negative 1, I got negative 1/2, negative 1 minus 2, negative 1 plus 4. So my vertex I should be at negative 1, and then negative 3 times positive 3 gives me 9/2, 9 times negative 4, so 4.5. So that's negative 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And a half, and I got a negative 1, so it's opening down like that. My real-world application, the path of a place kick in football is shown with this function, where x is the horizontal distance and y is the corresponding height. Sketch the graph. So, first thing we want to do is probably divvy this thing up. Got my x coordinate or x axis. We're going to go by 5s in here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And then up on my height distance, I'm going to go, let's go by 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 20, 4, 6, 28. Because here, when I sketch this thing, my x-intercepts are where this thing equals 0. So my x-intercepts are at 0, 0. It's the first one, and 65, 0. So 0, 0, and 65, 0 right there. My vertex, I want to figure out that thing, so I do 65 plus 0 and divide that by 2. 65 plus 0, divide that by 2, and I get 32.5. My vertex, let's put it right here, vertex is at 32.5, and then whatever you get when you plug in 32.5, if I use my calculator here, negative 0.026 times 32.5 parenthesis 32.5 minus 65, and I get 27.5 around there. So at 32.5, up at 27.5, there's my vertex. So this is like my path of the football. So how far was the football kicked? We're looking at the horizontal distance. Looks like 65 yards. And what was the football's maximum height? We're talking about the vertex here. So the height of that thing was 27.5 yards, I guess. Okay, flip that thing over. The last one on here says write it in standard form. So we have the equation, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to FOIL these. So I got -2 times x squared minus 8x plus 5x, so minus 3x, and then minus 40. And we're going to distribute in. So my equation in standard form then becomes -2x squared plus 6x plus 80. There we go. Writing it in standard form is kind of just like FOILing.